CBN contributor Chuck Holton shot that video, and that's his voice you hear confronting that disrupted protester. And Chuck joins us now. Chuck, what can you tell us about this incident? Why were they harassing the street preacher?
Well, this is in the former Chop Chaz area downtown Seattle. And so it's not a friendly place for Christians anyway. That's kind of like the Haight-Ashbury district of San Francisco. It's where all the gay bars are and everything like that. But there was a protest going on at that time, and this guy was on a side street. He had nothing to do with the protests, but he was just walking up and down this pedestrian street and preaching. And the interesting thing is, you heard that girl saying, "Please leave us alone, please leave us alone." But they came from the protest and walked down that street to find that preacher and start harassing him. He had already been harassed quite a bit. You could see that his back was all wet. They had dumped a drink over him and things like that before I started filming. So they sought him out in order to harass him.
Yeah, interesting. Well, you have been among the protesters, Chuck, in Portland and Seattle. Have you seen or heard them express anti-God or anti-Christian attitudes?
Oh, absolutely. I was told in Portland that Christianity is a white supremacist religion. And everything's racist. It's a racist religion, they said, which would have probably been news to our savior, who was Middle Eastern. So, I mean, it doesn't necessarily make sense, but these people are sort of beyond irony at this point. They say that they're there for justice, but they're really not there for justice. They say that they're there to defund the police, but in reality, they want to become the police, not get rid of the police. Yeah. They say that they're there to take the knee off of George Floyd's neck, but in reality, they want control. They want to become the knee on George Floyd's neck. And that was made abundantly clear in the week that I spent down there.
Yeah. Well, that street preacher, he showed a lot of courage. He stayed pretty calm with those harassing people around him. Have you seen other Christians out preaching at the protests? And, should they be out there doing that?
I talked to one Baptist pastor who had gone down there and he said, I didn't go down there to preach at them. I just went down there to listen and just try to bridge that divide, because that divide is so wide right now. And he was actually able to have some very meaningful conversations with people. But other than him, the only religious folks I saw down there were a couple of lesbian universalist Unitarian, I don't know what you call those people, pastors or whatever. But that, other than that, that was it.
Right. Chuck, very eye-opening report. Thanks so much for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Sure thing, Wendy.